This show is presented by the 323 Network. You can watch all your favorite 323 friends and shows on the 323 Network YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms at 323Reid, and support us as we continue to grow at patreon.com/323Reid. That's 323 REID. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 323. I am your host, Reid Murphy. It is Wednesday, June 18th. We got another OTA mini camp show, again, voluntary, so, head coach is here, doing film, going over the usual stuff. Might see some of the regular players Friday. We'll do a show tomorrow night to go into Friday. We keep you, behind the curtain so you don't get confused why we're not talking about whatever is that happened during NBA Finals Game 6. But we're going to get into Game 5 during this show. We're going to give you a little recap of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's over. Our hockey coverage is done. And honestly, this is the most hockey coverage we've ever done. Just doing it today. And Zoo's fake news hockey show, which we need more of. Plus, we're going to talk a little Caitlin Clark. We're going to talk a little bit of the FIFA Club World Cup and explain to you exactly what that is. Because I'm just, I watched it, but I'm finding out what it is. We got a lot. It should be a quicker show today, just to get you kind of the news. No muscle milk. It's all ginger ale today, just for those that needed the update. We're rocking ginger ale. We're on a little bit of a health kick and a health journey. Apple cider vinegar in the morning with your water. It's great for the digestive system. Just watch your stomach. Be careful about the noises. Be careful about you got a rumbly in your tumbly, go to the bathroom. That's just my advice to everybody. It's something. It clears you out. It's working. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but it's doing it. But you know who's not getting cleared out? The Florida Panthers. Because congrats to them. They are the Stanley Cup champions in the NHL for the second year in a row. Yes, everybody thinks of Florida and the Miami area as hockey town. That's your hockey hub. Screw Edmonton, Canada, all that. Florida, the swamp, that's where people play ice hockey. They play it very well. This is their second year in a row that the Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. They closed out the Oilers last night in a Game 6 win, 5-1. 5-1. Like, that team is scoring like crazy. Sam Reinhart made history, scored 4 goals in the game. Just the second player ever to do so. Sergei Bobrovsky was a brick wall in the net, 28 saves. Incredible goalie. Can't stop him. And Sam Bennett, he skated off with the Conn Smythe Trophy. That's telling you how deep this team is, where you're getting Sam Reinhart, you're getting these performances from Sergei, from Bennett, not even hearing anything about Tkachuk. I know he's out there, but you're not getting anything. You don't necessarily need it. This is a team that's built to last. This is a team that's built to probably win it a third time. We have a dynasty fully in the making here in hockey. And, they're only the second team in the salary cap era of the NHL to repeat as champions, joining the Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida hockey state. But if you're looking for them to win next year and go on a full three-peat, really clinch the dynasty, you got to look at the right odds makers. Depending on the sports book, you got about 4 different favorites for next year's Stanley Cup. This is why they say it's the hardest trophy to win. It's the hardest championship to get in sports, because hockey playoffs are just nuts. I thought for a second the Capitals were all of a sudden going to make a return and be a Stanley Cup favorite here. And then the Hurricanes took them out. I think the Hurricanes were like, whoa, they're looking feisty. And they get smashed. Panthers, Ice Cats, killing it out here. But depending on the sports book, you got Panthers as top odds to win the Cup next year. You have the Oilers, which is respectable with Connor McDavid to get back in there and win their championship. Some odds makers are saying the Colorado Avalanche could be that team, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who looked strong enough until they met Florida. So we'll see what happens there in hockey. Fun season. Maybe Ovi's last year next year, so maybe we have a lot more coverage. We'll get through it all together, or we'll just get some more fake news, fake zoos hockey show. Over in the WNBA, this is starting to become a recurring theme this season of the coverage that this league is getting. And when you're talking about wanting equality in coverage and equality in the sports media realm, what gets the most clicks? What gets the most talking? Drama, fights. It happens for the NBA, it happens for the NFL, like it happened, not for hockey, it's just part of hockey, but it happens the most for baseball. If there's a fight, if there's some type of drama, if there's some type of beef, that's what gets you your coverage. And while some people may think it's unfair right now for the WNBA, that the continuous talking point is Caitlin Clark getting beat up or attacked, whatever, depending on the news source that you look at. What's to say? Attacked, brutally ravaged. That's what's getting the attention, and it's getting eyes to the sport. It's getting more people to want to watch these games to see if it's going on to something, if something's going to happen, and maybe they will fall in love with it. This is what's happening right now with the Indiana Fever games, and last night in a win over Connecticut for the Indiana Fever, 88-71, Caitlin Clark still back at it after this quad injury. She dropped 20.6 assists in the game, but what's the major talking point here? A just flagrant, out of control kind of moment with JC Sheldon of Connecticut. Clark gets poked in the eye, then by another team gets shoved to the ground, gets caught in a bunch of scrapping moments throughout the game from there. Look, you can say what you want. You can, some people are automatically jumping on saying that this is an overprotection of Caitlin Clark, that she's just the golden girl of the league right now, so people are going to say that this is too much. What JC Sheldon did was bullshit. And it was nice to see after that moment getting a deep three in her face from Clark, screaming, "You can't guard me," to the bench, staring them all down. Fever's head coach, Stephanie White, she said post-game, everybody's getting better except the officials. And it's true. It's out of control in the league this year, not just with CC, but it's also happening across the board. And you're seeing it a lot with a player like JC Sheldon, where it's just flagrant, out of control shit. The roughness that's happening is just kind of being allowed by the refs. And maybe it's for the very reason that we talked about at the start of the segment, that maybe they want more eyes going towards this, and you have more fights, you have more drama, you have more out of control stuff. Yeah, you're going to get more eyes. But if it's going to potentially cost the safety of the players or allow things to really tumble and get out of control, because where all the talking points are going, especially once you get, like, let's say, just randomly Fox News, Outkick, those kind of places jumping in and saying, this is an assault on Caitlin. This is just blatant. This is almost racism against her. This is where literal talking points are coming online. And when that happens, you start to create an outrage on the other side of people saying that she is being overprotected, and she becomes the face of something that she doesn't want to be a part of, that Angel Reese hasn't really wanted to be a part of, that I'm sure JC Sheldon doesn't want to be a part of. She just wants to hit people. It becomes a political thing, and fans start getting more outraged. Fans start putting an actual target on these people, and this is how we get and grow to a Malice in the Palace level situation. The Malice in the Palace happened years back in the NBA, where had a spat between teams that quickly fell into the bench and then fell into the crowd. And it was arguably caused by the crowd. You had to go out there, that caused players. You throw shit at people, you have to be okay when the players come for you from there. And the NBA leveled that after it. They wanted no more of that. It became such a harsh punishment that you haven't seen anything close to it since, because it's a terrible look on your league, and the WNBA does not need to fall into this place. Yes, you want some drama. Yes, you want more media coverage. We get that. But you do not want a Malice in the Palace level situation. Nobody ever wants that. We saw something come close in with the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL a few years ago, where one of their defensive linemen had a beer thrown at him. He walked right up to the stands to go confront the guy. Thankfully, security, refs, everybody held that down. But this is what happens when you, just from a simple bad reffing job, can snowball into a disaster for your league, for PR, for your players, for your fans. It needs to get under control. Stephanie White is 100% right to call out the officials, and I hope it happens more. This is something that's not just happening in the WNBA, it's happened throughout all sports, and it's what happens with, humans. You have a human doing a game and being in charge of officiating and stuff like this. Error is going to happen, but also arrogance, feeling like you're in control, like you're the star. This is what happens with a lot of these refs. We've covered it a lot on this show and through the network over time. So WNBA, it's your time to, jump in on this, put out a memo, do something. Otherwise, I just can't wait till sports get to the point of like tennis. Tennis has it right. Little robot, little camera. They just have the person sitting up there in the stand like a lifeguard. What are they really there for? It's all about when trying to see, is that ball out? Oh, like that, because you see it on camera. It's held right there by a computer. Get these refs out of here. We brought up Florida. Transition. Miami, we brought this up on the Monday show. We started out the FIFA Club World Cup out in Miami. Fun time, man. We're talking about the NBA Finals and the lack of atmosphere and the lack of eventfulness to this. I didn't even know what the FIFA Club World Cup is. And it felt like a must-see event watching that game between Inter Miami and Al Ahly. I don't know what it is. I know the World Cup. I'm not a soccer guy. I like the World Cup. I'm a dirty casual, as they would say on Stranded Panda. For soccer, I watch the World Cup. I enjoy DC United games, like going to them. I don't go out of my way to watch them. But I like, DC United games, especially when they had my boy. Yow. But I don't, if there's a good Saturday morning game on, nothing else is on, I'll turn on a match, whether it's Premier League, CONCACAF. See, that's what I mean. But we have the FIFA Club World Cup going on. It's very fun. It's very exciting. You seeing it between the Turner channels and DAZN. And, you're watching Messi in Miami. You're seeing Bayern Munich win their game 10-0. Like, you ask, what is this tournament? This is what it is. It's the first ever expanded FIFA Club World Cup. It's held every 4 years now, just like the World Cup. It features 32 of the world's top club teams from every continent. It's the World Cup, but for club teams, not countries. World Cup, you have literal countries. USA, Team Brazil, Paraguay. All of these teams going against each other. Here, it is actual clubs, and it's kind of a cool thing, taking like the ultimate crossover kind of Avengers kind of moment here, where you could see not this year, but potentially maybe in the future, DC United and taking on Real Madrid. Or, you're getting Chelsea versus Inter Miami. It's pretty cool stuff, and it's hosted across 11 U.S. cities. It's the biggest global test run for the 2026 World Cup that FIFA's having. And so far, been a fun route. So some of the biggest moments that we've had so far, Bayern Munich won 10-0 against Auckland City. You had a Jamal Musiala hat trick, total domination there. PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, beat Atletico Madrid at the Rose Bowl. It was a really cool sight to see, actually. 4-0. Just total firepower. And then there was the opener, Inter Miami versus Al Ahly, a star-studded letdown. 60,000 people in that crowd, including a shit ton of ICE officials, which we don't need to get into the politics right now. We'll have, when Luis Martinez comes on, we'll talk about how that was going. But, Lionel Messi was there, David Beckham in the stands because the cameras made sure to keep showing Beckham, but just no magic there. It was 0-0, nothing. Awesome potential almost scores. Messi had one of the coolest corner kicks I've ever seen, at least in his time in Inter Miami, but just total goalie domination in that game. You have a lot of heat delays, packed stadiums, and some actual, because these are midday games here in the U.S. as the heat of summer's coming in, a lot of hydration breaks. You're actually having midday hydration breaks. This is an experiment for FIFA that's pretty wild and something that they're definitely going to be watching closely, because this is going to be the time of year for the actual World Cup when it's here across the continent. So heat's not lending well right now, but we'll see how it goes. It's pretty fun so far. Again, you can check that out on TNT and DAZN. TNT needed something. They needed something post NBA loss. Speaking of the NBA, we have the NBA Finals, and just like Stanley Cup wrapped up in Game 6, might see that here with the NBA Finals. The Thunder, they struck again in Game 5 pretty dominantly. I'd say, pretty dominantly overall. 120-109 in Game 5 in Indiana. And so Thunder lead the series 3-2. Now, the big issue here is, despite, of course, on the Thunder side, you have dominance from SGA, from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jalen Williams, who's looking like a potential Finals MVP here. Tyrese Haliburton held 0 field goals in that game. And, this is the thing. This is the problem. We love Tyrese Haliburton here. Haliban, as we've called him in the chat. But the thing is, while you have a true superstar and somebody who can dominate a game and dominate every aspect of it at a time, you also have inconsistency where you will have games like this. And sometimes it just lends itself to the team. He's a great passer, and it's great to have him out on the court. Sometimes it's just part of the game plan. It works the best when, Naismith can take over the game, or whoever will take over. We also saw an injury for Haliburton, calf injury, and it took out a lot of his explosiveness. It could be a long-term, in terms of this season, really is only 2 games left at max. This could be an injury that really dampens the rest of these finals, because a calf injury taking the explosiveness away for Haliburton, it really dampened things, and it presents an opportunity for Rick Carlisle, head coach of the Pacers, to, test his strength and his fortitude here if he's going to start TJ McConnell over Haliburton. You were getting a lot more heat from McConnell, but took him out to put Haliburton in because you want to put your star in there, but you're not getting anything from him. Because we were getting a little bit of that fourth quarter magic from the Pacers, just nothing from Tyrese. So Game 6 is going to be interesting to see whether maybe we get a quick start from Haliburton and majority of the minutes go to McConnell. See what they can do. You can never say that a series is over until it's over, especially with this Pacers team. So very likely could go to a Game 7. But if I had to put money on it again, I'm saying the Thunder strike and take Game 6 and take these NBA Finals. And if the Pacers are smart, this has been an incredible success of a season. It's been an incredible success of a couple of years here. Rest Tyrese Haliburton. I know you need to play for now, but you're ahead of schedule in terms of what this team was supposed to be. This is a team that can dominate the East, especially without Jason Tatum and the Celtics to really worry about next year. Rest Haliburton. Make sure he's good to go for next season. Live to fight another day. Very, very likely chance they could be doing this all again next year. So let's see what happens here. Again, you need a pick. I'm probably going to take the Oklahoma City Thunder in Thursday night's matchup. Finally, folks, a little bit of NFL news. It's the quiet season of the NFL. There's nothing really going on outside of, the mini camps and, barbecues being held at Commanders practice. Yes, that's a real thing. Josh Harris is legit. Josh Harris is awesome. And that ownership group, I'm so happy. But in terms of off-season moves, what happens sometimes? We get a lot of competition. We get sometimes talk of races, and that's what we've been having for a couple years now, especially post-Olympics, where Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins, he is, one of the NFL's quickest players ever. He's one of the fastest ever. He's arguably the fastest in the league right now. He and Olympic gold medalist Noah Lyles, they've been kind of going at it for a couple years, right? Lyles is the world's fastest man, or considered the world's fastest man. He was the 100-meter champion during the Olympics, and these two have gone at it. Noah Lyles has said it's no contest. He would just crush Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is saying that he could easily hold on. And this is a thing, this is where people have to see it. NFL, yes, it's the bigger sport, and Olympics, comes every 4 years. You discover somebody for a little bit, but you're like, oh no, my guy with the Dolphins, 10, he can easily take out these sprinters. No, they can't. These Olympians are insane. They might not be able to catch a ball or do the things that get you into the NFL or whatever, but they're insane athletes. That's why they're Olympians. And so there's been an argument that Tyreek Hill could at least hold his own in this race. We've been excited for it. Tyreek Hill has been saying that he's excited for it. Now, while I didn't know that it was an official race because I just didn't expect it to happen, they both keep backing out of shit. It was official. And now it's officially canceled. Noah Lyles has officially canceled it was a 50-yard sprint against Tyreek Hill. He said, we were very deep into creating the event. Times Square was about to be shut down. Unfortunately, there were complications, personal reasons. It just didn't come to pass. And when you say, look, personal reasons, Tyreek Hill, I get it. Tyreek Hill's personal reasons, yeah, there's a lot there. Tyreek's response to it, though, is a meme of Lyles ducking out, caption, Noah could never. And this is just, Noah threw out there that it was very hard for them to get companies attached to, sponsoring this event because, a lot of the companies didn't think it was going to happen. And they said they doubted us. They doubted us continuously. They told us this wasn't really going to happen. They needed assurance that it wasn't going to happen, that it was going to happen for them to actually sponsor the event. And Noah Lyles, Tyreek Hill, they can't seem to understand why would companies think this. Who would cancel this event? They canceled the event. It was never going to happen. Never going to happen. It might happen like once Tyreek's on his way out of the NFL and he's like, I can still do it. And you might as well just throw a couple other people in, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not the fun way that we want to see it happen when they're in their primes. It's not going to happen then. No. This is going to be a Mayweather Pacquiao type of thing. I wanted to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fight in their primes. Instead, I got them when they're damn near 40. Manny is the mayor, is like a mayor in the Philippines or something. That's what's going to happen with Noah Lyles and Tyreek Hill, unfortunately. No Flash versus Superman today. Or tomorrow. Or really anytime. Yeah. Oh, folks. That's really all we got today. It's the middle of summer, and like we said, we're doing OTAs. We're doing, some little voluntary training to get the show going and get it right for you ahead of the NFL season. And where are we also doing training? You can check me out over on the Stranded Panda Network. I returned, made a triumphant return. I completely tanked their ratings. It's what we do. Multiverse News, go check that out over on YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. Multiverse News, it's an awesome kind of pop culture, nerd culture for sure, but a lot of other entertainment stuff, and talking about it with those good guys over there. Matthew Carroll, Jay Sisson, our friend of the show, and Jay Scotty St. Clair. Haley Hobbs sometimes, but I was Haley last night. We talked How to Train Your Dragon and the impact of live action remakes. Willem Dafoe as Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. Yes, that's a thing that could be happening. That's something we need to talk about with Travis Byram. Spaceballs 2 is in development. I never saw Spaceballs 1. Might have to check it out now, though, if you're getting Rick Moranis to come out of retirement to do it. And Mel Brooks at like 100 years old being in that movie. That's going to be awesome. And we talked a little bit of the new Pixar slate, Pirates of the Caribbean 6. It was a lot of fun stuff. You need to go check that out. Check out Multiverse News and my appearance on there wherever you get podcasts. And of course, subscribe to the 323 Network and find this show wherever you're listening to it on. We appreciate you already. Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever. Subscribe, rate, review, do the whole thing, share it. You all are the best. We love you all the time. We will talk to you very soon. Potentially Friday might be the return of the great white hope, Scott Elliott, finally coming into his voluntary minicamps because he's a diva. We'll see that. We'll try to talk to Luis Martinez soon. We'll be talking to Travis Byram soon. We got a lot of things to get into, especially as the summer movie season's going. We will talk to you all soon. For now, enjoy your Wednesday. Stay cool or get warm if you're, in a cold weather state. I don't know. I don't know stuff. I know sports. That's why I'm here. We'll talk to you later, folks. Stay safe.